Hey guys, what's up? It's MW2 here, and today I'm bringing back a brand new story. So yeah, let's get into it. This story takes place whenever I was either 10 or 11. All these stories take place when I was like 10 or 11. A lot of stuff happened to me when I was 10 and 11. This kind of starts off, it was a weekend, like a Saturday, and my mom for some reason was like, hey, let's just go downtown to this restaurant. I want to take you out to lunch and then maybe go shopping a little bit in the mall. And I was like, all right, I'll do that because why not? I had nothing better to do. Anyways, she takes me downtown, and she kind of like drove me around first, like just look at all this stuff, all the sights to see, because she works downtown and really knows the area well. And we're kind of just driving around and seeing a bunch of stuff. And then she took me to this one restaurant. It's a pretty popular restaurant. It's pretty known, and a lot of people go there. It's really like if you come to the city, that's one of the places that's like recommended to eat. Well, anyways, we got there and there were a bunch of big, like, blacked out, like, big Chevy Suburbans, like, almost like FBI cars, but, like, not FBI cars. And they were movie cars. Like, they were, like, either security for a movie star or something. I don't know. Well, anyways, we got into this restaurant kind of not thinking anything about it. We just thought, well, maybe somebody has two blacked out Suburbans, which are pretty nice cars. And we got into the restaurant, and the restaurant's like really big. And whenever you walk in, there's either a left side or a right side to eat on. And the guy sat us down on the left side. And there was really nobody on the left side. We could see that there were quite a few people on the right side, but there was a big group of people, and there was probably like 10 people all sitting at one table, and then there were a few other people around them at the other tables on the right side. But on the left side, there were like two or three people just by themselves eating. So anyways, we sat down, we ordered our food, got our drinks, and we were set to go. And for some reason, I drank like an entire, like, I'm pretty sure I got iced tea. I drank like an entire iced tea and a half in like the matter of like 10 minutes. Well, not even 10 minutes, like 5 minutes. And I was really thirsty for some reason, and I sucked it down really fast. And anyways, I was like, oh gosh, I have to go to the bathroom. And I hadn't ever been to that place before. So I was like, where's the bathroom at? And she said, oh, well, you're going to want to go down these stairs, across the main lobby, up another pair of stairs, go to the left, then make a right, then make another right, go down the hallway, and then to the left. And then they'll be there on the right. And of course, I had no idea what she had just said. I said, yeah, okay. And just figured, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to find. I'll just get up and start looking around for it. Anyways, I started getting up, and I walked down the stairs, across the lobby, and up the stairs, and then I forgot what she said. And then I made a right instead of a left, and then I got into like no man's land, which I didn't know where the heck I was. No, I just kind of got lost. I ran into like a wall. I didn't know where I was. Then I went back, went left, and then I saw like the group of 10 people, and they were all just kind of like sitting around the table doing stuff. And they all kind of looked up at me whenever I walked by, because there was not really anybody in the restaurant. They were all just kind of like staring at me, and I was kind of just staring at them. Like, instead of making a right, I went straight, and then I was kind of over there. And then I went upstairs, and it wasn't up there. And then while I was upstairs, one of the guys from the table of like 10 got up and started like walking to the bathroom, I guess. And like the way it goes is like the hallway is going down one way, and then the stairs come down and meet right into it. And I was coming down the stairs, and the guy was walking down the hallway, and we just collided like as soon as I got to the bottom of the stairs, because you couldn't really see if somebody was coming down the stairs. And I just collided right into this dude, and we just bumped into each other. It wasn't like a collide, but like his shoulder hit like my shoulder, and I kind of like fell forward, but I caught myself, and then he kind of like tripped a little bit, and he was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about it. He was like, oh no, I'm serious, are you okay? You look like that hurt. And I'm like, no, I caught myself, I'm fine. I was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay? Like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, let me like buy your meal or something. I'm like, no, that's like crazy. Why would you do that? No, you don't have to do that. You just bumped into me. He's like, no, come on, man. Just let me, I need to do something now that I did that. I feel really bad. And I was just like, well, there is something you could do for me. He's like, yeah, what's that? And I'm like, well, can you tell me where the bathroom is? And he was just like, oh, yeah, it's right here, down this hallway, make a left. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then he's like, all right, but where's your table at? I'm like, we were over there, but don't worry about it. You don't have to buy it. He's like, I'll buy it for you. And I was just kind of like, as I was walking, I was like, all right, thank you then, I guess, because I didn't want to like just be like, oh no. And then he was like, yeah, oh no, yeah, back and forth like for 30 minutes. As I'm in the bathroom, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, why is that guy buying my meal? He bumped into me. Like, what is he, like a superstar with like a bunch of money who's just buying people's meals? Like, I mean, it wasn't cheap meals. It was probably like $30 for like two of us, which isn't expensive, like dreadfully expensive, but it wasn't like cheap. And I'm in the bathroom just thinking like, why is he buying my meal? That's like, he bumped into me. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And then, anyways, I found my way back to my table and I see the guy talking to my mom, and he's just like, yeah, I bumped into him. I'm really sorry. I said I'm gonna buy her meal. I told the waitress that I'm paying for it, and my mom was like, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm just kind of, like, I got back to the seat, and I was, like, just saying, like, thank you. And then I was sitting down, and then I just hear my mom go, oh, before you go, can we get a picture with you? And I was like, a picture with him? So my mom, like, gives me her phone, and she poses with him. I take a picture of her and him, and then I pose with him, and she took a picture of me with him, and then some guy took a picture with all of us. And I was so confused at the time because I had no idea who this guy was. And we sat down, and he was like a really nice guy, by the way. And he walked away and went to his table, and my mom was just kind of like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what? Who was that guy? Why did we take a picture with him? She's like, that was John Stamos. I'm like, John Stamos, who is that? And she's like, oh my gosh, that was John Stamos, like freaking out. Like, not freaking out, but like internally just like being like, wow, we just met John Stamos. And at the time, I had no idea who John Stamos was. And John Stamos, if you don't know, he played in Full House as like one of the uncles, I think. And he's basically a pretty big celebrity. And apparently they were in our town filming something. Like, apparently the whole thing that they were filming, they were just going to a bunch of different cities and like filming stuff. I'm not sure what everything was. We didn't really like find out the scoop on behind the scenes of everything. But from what I heard, they were just going around town, like around different cities filming stuff. And she was like freaking out. I'm like, who was that? John Stamos, who's that? And she's like, he's a big time celebrity, like he's super famous, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just bumped into some famous guy. And then she showed me like a picture of him, and I was like, oh yeah, I do know who that is. And then I started like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just bumped into John Stamos. It's awesome. Yeah, that's the time I bumped into John Stamos, and he bought our meal. And then they actually ended leaving, like the two big suburban trucks that I was talking about earlier. That was their like the filming company's trucks or cars or whatever. And like where we were sitting, you could see the lobby. So whenever he like walked out, he kind of just like waved up to us, and we were just like waving back at him. Yeah, that happened, and I was just like, felt really good. I was like, wow, I just met John Stamos, took a picture with him, and he trucked me over as I walked down some stairs. Anyways, that's just a really cool story I thought I would tell. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. I had a good time making the video. Hope you had a good time watching. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and comment what I should do next, guys. I'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye.